thank you for having us. Thank you for the interview, and welcome to Mexico City. How has been your trip so far?
I love Mexico, man. I came to Mexico the first time in January of this year, 2021. I came to Tulum for 5 days, but I ended up staying 2 months. So I was there from end of January to early March, and I fell in love with Mexico. I love the Mexican people. It's a great vibe. I have amazing times. It's beautiful energy in the air, and I had a really wonderful time. And now I came again to Acapulco for some business deals for some people I met from the last trip. And again, Acapulco was also very amazing. I had a wonderful time. It did really well. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. It's my first day. I came last night. First day in Mexico City. So enjoying this place too. And I'm in a beautiful hotel. It's an amazing vibe.
I would like to ask you first, please remind us the importance of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, at this moment that we are living crazy times after COVID-19, how can Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies be a tool for
So for countries like Mexico, developing countries where the most of the population is less fortunate than the general public, like the Americans, I think Bitcoin is great. It's a great invention, and we have Satoshi Nakamoto to thank for that. To really understand why Bitcoin is important, we have to understand why we have banks and governments in place, right? Why do we have these banks and governments? We put banks and governments in place 200-300 years ago when people started doing business outside of the local communities. What's happened over the last few decades is these banks and governments have become really corrupt. They've become really corrupt, so they don't serve the general public. They serve themselves. If you're very rich, you can get a loan from the bank. If you're poor, you need the money, you can't get a loan. So that's not how the system is meant to work. The system is broken. So now what Bitcoin does is it gives power back to the people.
Why is it important that governments around the world recognize the importance of Bitcoin?
So here's the thing. Here's what I like to tell governments, right? Governments cannot stop it. This Bitcoin is a tool to take power away from corrupt governments. Let's be very clear. Governments are a public servant. If they do what they're meant to do, there is no issue. But the problem is coming. The governments are not serving the public. They're serving their friends. Airlines are making profit 10 years, and then 1 year they don't make a profit. The government bails them out. What about all the mom and pop shop guys who are running their restaurants and coffee shops, and they have gone under and they can't do stuff? They're not getting bailouts, but they're not friends with the government, right?
With all your experience that you have collected during these years, and now talking about Mexico, what are the areas of opportunity that Mexico brings for investors like you?
I think Mexico is really interesting. I actually wanted to buy a house here next to the coast, but I found out as a foreigner, you can't buy a house next to the coast. There are interesting opportunities. Anywhere where you see inefficiencies in the system and you can make those inefficiencies better is amazing, right? And we see that in Mexico. There's a lot of inefficient systems that we can make better. So like any other market, there is progress to be made, 100%.
Your story has been a great success in this matter. What recommendations would you give to the people that is starting now in this?
So I'm happy to share my 3 top secrets to success. The first one is leverage. Always learn to leverage. Leverage other people's time to work for you. Second secret to success is persistent. You gotta be persistent in all obstacles that come your way. The thing is consistent and persistent. You gotta keep going, and you gotta keep going in the right direction. And my third secret of success is have a big vision, right? Dream big. If you aim for the moon and you miss, you'll hit a star, right? So you gotta have a dream. You gotta dream big. You gotta have big visions. The bigger you dream, the more success you will get. And it's